Hi kids, welcome back to my channel. As you already know, my name is Mrs. Shade and I am here to help you with English home language as well as English first additional language. It has been a minute. I could explain, and maybe one day I'll have a little story time to explain, but I actually want to talk about something that I've realized and keep realizing in this profession of mine. So I'm currently at work and I am trying to get through some marking. And I'm realizing a bit of a trend that I've picked up over the years that I think if I tell you about this, it might be helpful in your future in English home language and first additional language. So I'm specifically going through comprehension tests, but I think that this could help you with not only the comprehension aspects of your tests and exams, but it could also help you with poetry and literature and basically any aspect that requires that you answer questions. So, number one, read, and read again. It's very important that you read the texts or the extracts that are given to you more than once, because you may pick up on something that you did not realize the first time that you read. I've covered this before with the poetry analysis, but it is also important for you to do it in comprehension tests, tasks, and exams. Comprehension, you already know. I don't need to tell you, but I will tell you. Comprehension tests, exams, and even tasks and activities test your understanding of whatever you have read. So if you don't read it multiple times, do you really understand it? The second thing that I want to point out is when looking at the questions, when reading over the questions, try to identify, sorry for the noise in the background, but try to identify what are the instruction verbs and what are the keywords. Your instruction verbs are those words that tell you what to do. Are you supposed to discuss? Are you explaining? Are you comparing? Are you justifying? Look at those instruction verbs because they give you an indication as to what is required. So your keywords are the main thing or the specific topic, subject, idea that you have to discuss or explain or justify or compare. So if you are asked to compare apples and oranges, you know that you are looking at the differences and the similarities between apples and oranges. Those are the specific things you're going to pay attention to. So sometimes our keywords, when we find them in the question, we can also find them in the extract or the text that we have read multiple times. So pay attention to those things in terms of questions. Then the third thing that I wanted to talk about is the mark allocation. You have questions on every single exam, every single test that give you a mark allocation in brackets. This is for every subject. The mark allocation tells you how much you need to say or how much you need to write. You cannot get a full 3 marks for a question if you've only given a 2-worded answer. It is impossible. You may be very gifted in writing those 2 words, but it will be very difficult for your examiner or your assessor to pick up on specifically what you're trying to say in just 2 words. So pay attention to the mark allocation because it is important. If you have a 1 mark question, then you are probably required to write 1 sentence, 1 fact, 1 main idea, 1 item from whatever you have read. But when it gets to 2, 3, 4, it means now you have to substantiate. So if you are asked to identify and explain a figure of speech, for instance, you are going to give the figure of speech, but you're going to explain it in the context of what you have read, the context of those lines or that extract that you have been given. You're not going to define the figure of speech, because we as teachers and examiners, we don't need the definitions, we know them. But we want to see, how are you able to apply that knowledge that you have of that particular figure of speech to that piece of writing that you have just read. So 2, 3, 4 mark questions require you to substantiate. Sometimes you are required to give an opinion, but you're not going to get full marks for just an opinion that is unsubstantiated. If there is no evidence to back it up, if there's no fact to back it up, if there's no example from the extract or from whatever you have read to back it up, then chances are you're not going to get those full marks. So those are the 3 main things that I wanted to talk about in terms of answering questions and, tackling tests, exams, especially in terms of comprehension skills. So I hope this has helped. It was a very short video. I just needed to get that off my chest. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead, and I will be posting as much as I possibly can in the very little time I have. I have kids dancing for me. So don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share with whoever you believe will benefit from this video. Bye.